Welcome to Defense Black Box, your trusted source for global defense news, military analysis, and strategic insights. In the skies above the Bay of Bengal, a storm is brewing, not of wind and rain, but of fire and steel. Bangladesh, a nation of 170 million, has just made a decision that's sending shockwaves through Asia's defense circles. They want the Eurofighter Typhoon, one of the most advanced fighter jets on Earth. But why would a country that's flown Chinese and Russian jets for decades suddenly turn to Europe? And what does this mean for the delicate balance of power in South Asia? This is the story of ambition, survival, and the fighter jet that could change everything. To understand why Bangladesh wants the Typhoon, you need to understand where they've been. For most of its history, the Bangladesh Air Force has operated a mixed fleet. Chinese F-7s, Russian MiG-29s, and trainer aircraft barely capable of modern combat. Budget constraints meant they couldn't compete with neighbors like India or even Myanmar, but everything changed in 2017. When Myanmar launched brutal military operations against the Rohingya, over 1 million refugees fled into Bangladesh border. Skirmishes escalated, Myanmar's Russian-made fighters violated Bangladeshi airspace, and Dhaka realized something terrifying. They couldn't defend their own skies. Fast forward to 2025, Bangladesh's economy is booming. GDP growth averaging 6 to 7% annually. They're no longer the fragile post-independent state of the 1970s. They're a rising regional player, and they need a fighter jet to match. Enter the Eurofighter Typhoon, a twin-engine, delta-wing monster designed by a consortium of the UK, Germany, Italy, and Spain. It's flown by the Royal Air Force, the Luftwaffe, and 8 other nations. It's beaten F-16s and F-15s in simulated combat, and now Bangladesh wants it. So what makes the Typhoon so special? Let's talk performance. The Eurofighter Typhoon can reach speeds of Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. It's powered by 2 Eurojet EJ200 engines, each producing 20,000 pounds of thrust. It can climb to $55,000. Feed in minutes and pull 9 Gs in a turn, but speed isn't everything. The Typhoon is a multi-role fighter, meaning it can do air-to-air combat, ground attack, reconnaissance, and maritime strike. Its CAPTOR-E ESA radar can track over 20 targets simultaneously at ranges exceeding 200 kilometers. It carries advanced missiles like the Meteor, arguably the best beyond visual range air-to-air missile in the world. For Bangladesh, this is a game-changer. Right now, their aging MiG-29s can't compete with Myanmar's upgraded Su-30s or India's Rafales. The Typhoon would give them parity or even superiority in regional airspace. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the jets. It's about the message. By choosing the Typhoon, Bangladesh is signaling a strategic pivot. For years, China has been their primary arms supplier, selling them frigates, submarines, and fighter jets. But Western nations, especially the UK, have been courting Dhaka with offers of not just weapons, but technology transfer, training, and long-term partnerships. The Typhoon deal isn't just a purchase. It's a geopolitical realignment. Of course, there are obstacles. The Typhoon isn't cheap. Each aircraft costs around 125 million. Bangladesh is reportedly looking at a deal for 12-16 jets, which could total $2 billion or more. For a nation still classified as a developing economy, that's a massive investment. And then there's the maintenance. Western jets require sophisticated supply chains, trained technicians, and ongoing support contracts. Can Bangladesh sustain that? Critics say no. They argue Bangladesh should stick with cheaper options, like the Chinese J-10C or the Swedish Gripen, but supporters counter that the Typhoon offers something money can't always buy: credibility. Owning Typhoons means Bangladesh joins an elite club. It means closer ties with NATO nations. It means access to intelligence, joint exercises, and a seat at the table in Western defense circles. So what happens if this deal goes through? First, the regional balance shifts. India, which has historically dominated South Asian airspace, will now have to take Bangladesh seriously. Pakistan, watching from the west, might see an opening for closer defense ties with Dhaka. China won't be happy. Beijing has invested billions in Bangladesh through the Belt and Road Initiative. Losing a major arms client to Europe would be a strategic blow and could push China to offer sweeter deals. To keep Dhaka in its orbit, Myanmar, meanwhile, faces a credible deterrent. The days of violating Bangladeshi airspace with impunity. But beyond the hardware, there's a deeper question. What kind of nation does Bangladesh want to be? For decades, they've played both sides, buying Chinese weapons while maintaining good relations with the West. The Typhoon deal forces a choice. It's a bet that the future lies not with Beijing's authoritarian model, but with democratic, rule-based partnerships. Of course, nothing is final. Negotiations are ongoing. The UK, Germany, and Spain are all lobbying hard. Alternative offers from France, Rafale, and the US F-16 Block 70 are still on the table. But if Bangladesh does pull the trigger on the Typhoon, it won't just be buying fighter jets. It'll be buying a future. In the high-stakes world of military aviation, every choice sends a message. Bangladesh choosing the Eurofighter Typhoon says they're done being the region's underdog. It says they're willing to invest in their security, even if it means spending billions they don't have to spare. And it says they're betting on the West, at a time when the world is fracturing into rival blocs. Will it work? That depends on economics, politics, and whether Dhaka can navigate the minefield of great power competition without getting burned. But one thing is certain, the skies over South Asia are about to get a lot more interesting. Because when a nation decides to arm itself with one of the world's deadliest fighter jets, everyone pays attention, and in 2025, all eyes are on Bangladesh.